What's going on, world? It's your boy at Big Game James _36. This is Big Games B.S. on the road. Dealing with BS on the road. One thing I always look for when I travel is expected bullshit. And this morning was one of those. Shit. I almost overslept and missed my lift this morning. So I left all my vitamins and my medicines at home. um, I rushed and did that. Also left the keyboard and mouse and my HDMI cable. So this is why we're going to do this show from the phone. See how long I can hold it like this. So if you see me take breaks or put the phone down, it's not because I don't want you guys to see my beautiful face. I just want you to know that my hands tired. I'm out. I'm in the A. The goal this weekend is to not freeze my ass off and to come back with $15,000 with Domo National as we play in the sevens tournament. 16 of the top 7-on-7 teams in the nation, getting after it, getting chippy. For those who want to know, this is my goal is to win and not get escorted off the field by Cam Newton. This is the tournament that Cam Newton picked two grown ass men up and moved them against their will. And I actually am in the pod. So we start off with playing some team. I think it's Apex 8. Then we play South Florida Express. And then we play C1N, which is Cam Newton's team, to end our Saturday when we do our bracket play. Excuse me, we do pool play, and then we go bracket play on Sunday. So my goal is to not get accosted by Cam. And I'm going to go tell Cam that when we see Jason Whitlock, we jumping them. So I just wanted to make sure that everybody understands what we got going on. So if you're in the A and you want to pull up on your boy, pull up on your boy. I'm going to go get a cigar, more than likely have a couple meetings after I leave here, continuing to build the brand, procure funds, try to see my rice-skinned ass nephew while I'm up here, the big boy. And then after that, we're flying out. We'll be on the road all next week. Hopefully we'll have everything taken care of next week as far as having an HDMI cord, but I'll be in Indianapolis for the combine. Look for all the combine coverage and all the kind of exciting stuff. Should be a lot of content coming out of Den Media Group, Big Game Gridiron. Make sure you guys go like and follow that page as well over the next couple, over this week and the next week as we still put stuff out. So, yeah, so we got Steve going to be doing some videoing for us with Domo. Damn, you know what? That is a good idea, Steve. We got to get that Cam. We got to get Cam. Try to get a little quick spot with Cam. I don't want to look like a fanboy. I just want to. It's gonna be weird. I got to figure out how to do that and not look like a whole thought out there or a groupie. And then we need to. I think Steve says, What's the JD? What's the buddy from Alabama A&M name?
Carson Benson.
Yeah, get Carson. If he's, I know he's not gone yet, but try to get him, and try to see what's going on with him. See what it's like, preparing leading up to the NFL Combine. I could give some experience and stuff, but yeah. So that's my little spiel for what's been going on in my life. Again, just traveling, having kids cancel at the last minute, having people with car troubles, me oversleeping because I decided to take the first flight out of Jacksonville like a dummy. But man, I'm here at chilling at the Marriott. Y'all know we don't stay anywhere other than Marriott's. We're Marriott snobs, and got free breakfast. So free breakfast is a major plus for me. So what we got, Jaden?
All
Don't
right. Good
forget.
morning, y'all. February 21st. Let's get into the show outlines for today. Before we get into it, can y'all hear me okay? Is it fuzzy or anything?
Nah, he's good.
All right, cool.
Gotcha.
So let's get into the show. Starting the show off with FSU like we normally do. We got a new high school recruit coming out of Miami Central. Talk about the softball team, men's basketball, and women's basketball as well, staying in the college space. We have Carson Beck and some stolen property happened. He had some property stolen. And we're going to talk about Alabama's dominance and how it translated from college to the NFL. Talk about these coaches and programs getting rid of their spring games. Then we're going to get into a potential shift in the college football playoff, talk about some stadiums and the top 10 college football atmospheres. Transition to the NFL. First things first, getting into the Jaguars general manager tracker, keeping up with the updates so you all can stay updated as well. And then we're going to talk about some throwback jerseys, the combine. So we got a little funny picture. We'll discuss about that. Talk about a retirement of a special player. And then we're going to compare the total yards leaders and the total yards or I should say the least amount of yards for the defensive side in the NFL, and talk about some quarterbacks. Then we're going to get into our big games BS. Former NFL player was wilding and he pleaded guilty to a case we will talk about. And then we're going to do something I don't know if you ever talked about hockey before, James, but they had the Four Nations hockey all-star game last night. USA versus Canada. We lost. We'll get into that a little bit. And then we're going to get into some NBA news as well. So first things.
Wait a minute. We're not gonna talk about Miles's friend.
Oh, yeah. We can
uh,
uh
let me get send him a text real quick. We could do that.
I mean,
He
it's
watched
gonna
the
go
show.
online. That's probably somewhere at this point. We have
Yeah,
to
yeah,
talk
for
about. We
sure,
have if
for sure.
anybody's gonna get credit for it,
yeah.
you gotta keep it at home, dog. Like
Yeah.
That's
you in
fact.
the
That's
problem.
fact. That's facts. We could put that up. You send that in the email, and don't forget the prayer.
Oh yeah, gotta get in prayer.
And yeah. So yeah, we can get the prayer rolling and then we will get into the show.
Miles, you gotta press the prayer.
I got a what?
You have to press the prayer.
I did. Oh, you didn't come through?
No.
No, well, we're gonna do it this way then.
I think it's very quiet and
Yeah.
faint
Oh, okay.
because I can barely hear it.
Yeah. Oh, guess we got to go without the prayer today. Go on to the first
Okay.
one.
Well, go ahead, Jay.
All right, so let's talk about this, James. First things first. Miguel Blanco is getting Miami Central on lock. I'm feeling good about this. Feeling good about what's coming next out of this high school for sure. So FSU beats Miami and Alabama and others to land commitment from Miami Central linebacker, a 3-star Karen Maycock. He's listed at 6'1", 200 AO. But anyways,
Karen my
anyways.
cock.
That's not real.
How do you, I gotta if I ever see the kid, the first thing I'm asking like, yo, how do you pronounce your name? Is it Karen? Is it Karen my cock or Maycock? Is it Karan my cock Maycock? Is it Karen my cock? It's either way, it's funny. Like this is what you need to do with Alpha Clinic Online. If you go with Alpha Clinic Online, your back is going to be hurting because your hips going to be hurting because all you're doing is carrying my cock around. And that so many great things with this.
Yeah, so like you said, coming out from Miami Central, and the Seminoles were his second scholarship offer, and we prioritized him as one of their top linebacker targets. James, have you heard anything, seen any clips of Mr. I don't even know what to call him anymore. Let's call him KM. Have
Yeah,
you seen anything from KM online circulating?
yeah, man. To use a football, Maycock would knock your dick in the dirt. He's bringing the hardwood. Very fast physical player. Got the measurables that you want with a linebacker. Probably would end up as a 4 star. When a consistent 4 star when it's all said and done. The Miami Central, the gate is open because once they got rid of their last coach, it's like that last coach was truly a Miami Hurricane. Like they were on the sidelines of Hurricane games. So like now it's a bit more of a fair shot to get what you want to get. But I like this guy as Florida State, I think has the number one class currently in 2026, which we all know that means doesn't mean shit. But he's really, really good though. I like this kid. Good get for us. Got to be able to get back and reestablish the trenches down there in Miami.
Yeah, great pickup for the 2026 class. Huge shout out to Mr. KM himself. Mr. KM himself, keep doing what you're doing. And yeah, we're going to go into some basketball now with the Seminoles. We played the U. Speaking of Miami, and man, we put on a show. We beat the Hurricanes 74 to 66, a 8-point lead, and we're gonna get into some statistics for you all right here. Let me share this with you guys. Boom. So Malik Ewan, definitely the MVP of this game. 24 points, 10 for 10 from field goals. Yes, you heard us. 10 for 10. He
Wow.
did not miss a single shot. The only shots he missed were 3 free throws. He was 4 from 7 from the line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 3 steals, and he was balling. And then our second leading scorer, Cuzzo, 16 points. Didn't have a great shooting night. 2 for 12 from the field, 1 for 7, and he had 14 free throw attempts, made 11 of them, 8 rebounds, and yeah, continue to do great things. Good rivalry game right here. And every time we play Miami, FSC basketball fans always have to throw shade at Matthew Cleveland. He played at FSU, then transferred to yeah, Ant got it already ready right here. So he transferred to Miami, and this is some key stats. So former 5-star FSU player Matthew Cleveland against his former team since transferring to Miami. 0 wins. Yes, you heard that, folks. 0 wins, 4 losses, a negative 27 plus minus, 15.4% 3-point field goal percentage, and he's shooting 60% from the free throw line. So, man, get well
Until you do
soon.
right by us, everything you gonna do is gonna fail. Like I'm happy for. It couldn't happen to a better person.
Definitely. So excited to see Seminoles get this rivalry win and to keep seeing this downfall. So we're going to stay in the basketball world with our women's hoops. Shout out to the female squad. They beat Pittsburgh 69 to 55, a 14-point win. And Michaela Timpson is breaking records like she normally does. So she has 88 blocks. This is a single season program record. And the previous record she broke was her own record. So even a bigger flex right here. And we're going to get into the stats of this game as well. Just like we mentioned, Michaela Timpson, leading scorer for FSU right here, 20 points, 8 for 15 from field goal attempts, 4 for 6 from the line. Good percentage from big at the free throw line right there. 8 rebounds, 7 blocks. You heard it here. 7 blocks and 1 steal. Don't forget that as well. So, man, the women have been hooping, and there was some stars out here for the men's basketball game. We can't forget that. We got some familiar faces: Amari Gaynor, Jared Verse, Jordan Travis, Trey Benson, and the one and only P-Dub, aka
Yeah, I talked to him yesterday. I'm about to say nobody's showing P Dub, but P Dub was there. Kes McCorvey was there. P Dub's going to be down there Monday for the North Carolina game. I think it's Monday. They play North Carolina.
Nice. Yeah, this is the recap video of them at the game right here. I think P-Dub makes an entrance right here at the end of the video, but yep.
There we go. Yep.
Yes, sir.
My dog.
Crowd lively. Mm-hmm.
He asked me to come I could have been all on there. You know they don't want me on there though. Like, I'm the most popular guy that nobody likes in FSU media. Like I'm a fan. I'm an infamous fan favorite for whatever reason. Like, I don't know why. I didn't do it. I don't know who's. Well, I know why now. Some of them I actually do antagonize, but like before, I don't know. I didn't even know how we got to this point. Like but I'm not here to make peace. I'm here to piss some Cheerios now. So, but it's gonna be crazy when I tell you seriously. So, chat, everybody on Twitter, listen. I can't tell you what day, but I can tell you to either put a pencil in your calendars, April 8th or April 22nd. One of those two. I have Peter Ward has called me 3 times making sure I got this shit. So we're going to do, and I need to know. I need you guys to hit us on the timeline. Um, Jaden probably put something out on sports. Then what FSU players would you like to see at a basketball at a celebrity basketball game? We may do the night. You know what? I got the perfect setup. 90s versus the 2000s. That'd be a hell of that'd be. I mean, now I get the 90s guys are old, but that'd probably be wild. That'd probably be fun. It's really less about the basketball game and really just an opportunity for everybody to hang out, sign some autographs, have a big shindig, have a big tailgate, and go watch a baseball game. Um, but those are 2 big baseball game weekends. I really want to do the 8th because I want to pack the dick on Hauser Stadium on April 8th because we play the Virgins of Virginia, and you want to swing good wood when you go to to going there. But I want to know what knows y'all want to see. That's what was asked of me. People asked like Pete's like who do the people want to see? I said as many as we could get, but we're gonna start getting these guys. Once I get done with this weekend, I get a little bit more time. I'm gonna start putting out a date. I'm gonna start saying, hey, we need guys to get here, and we're gonna try to find a venue. We may be able to get TCC. Um, I may try to pull some strings and see what's necessary for us to be able to get. If we could get Tully Gym, that'd be awesome. But I know that's asking a lot. I really wanted to do a flag football thing, but I know they're not going to give us the indoor. So, but who would y'all like to see? What Seminoles, former Seminoles, like players, would you guys want to come back, and have a good time? But you know, the only reason we're not doing, um, we're not going to do a 7-on-7 or a flag football is because weather. Like we can do basketball and not have to worry about, climate. So like that's the biggest problem is if we did a football thing and it starts pouring down raining, there's not much we can do to change that. So yeah, just tell me what knows you guys would want. Don't, obviously you can put it in the chat, but please let's just put this out there on Twitter because that's where shit really gets done. So but yeah. Um Pete will come out. Pete. I gotta see Sama get Peter out. Pete just not about the bullshit. Pete like is Peter Bulwer is like one of them super duper duper Christians. Like great guy. Like one of them cats that him and his brother the only people that I know that didn't kiss them and then Andre Wadsworth, like they didn't kiss their wives until they said I do. Like they went the whole dating process, but you know that was wild. Um, April, if we do April 8th, we should be able to still get some of those guys to leave and come because they'll just be training. So yeah, man, we're gonna try to get these cats out here, man, and get some good access and limit access. So what we're gonna do though is we're gonna have credentials, but the credentials will be for new age media. If you're a new age media and you want to make sure you get access, I'm gonna give you all the access that you want to this. So and then we're gonna try to and then from there we're gonna try to get some of these young bulls to come around as much as they can. We don't want to take away anything from what they're doing. Really it's just about to get the fan engagement and keep things up. And then I want to do what's my girl name? She told me she was 5'7", not Muda. Muda the thick one. The thick dyke. Who's my girl? Who's the lesbian? She's not lesbian. She a dyke. Lesbians are fib. She's not. I can't even think of my girl name right now. Anyway, she on social media. She on Twitter heavy. Big FSU fan. For her and some girls from Pompano, they want to go do a girl. They want to do Pompano versus or Miami, South Florida versus North Florida, women's flag football game. And I'm like, all right, we gonna try to do that. Try to get that
That's fire.
sponsored by Domo.
Hey,
Um, and just have that out there and just make a coda. That's it. We're gonna try to make a coda session. Want to do it? I'm gonna try to do it. We'll make a whole weekend out of it, man. Just a little Friday baseball game, Saturday, FSU Legends. Then do a little football game that evening or afterward. Do the football, however we need to do it to make it happen, and then probably find some place where we can all go break bread and drink fine wine and spirits and just live our life like it's golden. So um yeah, so we'll go with that. I like Ruben P. 2000s versus 2010s. You know what? And then what we could do is the 2000s could go a little earlier. So there might be somebody from the 90s that could probably still bump a little bit, and then there's the 2010s could go a little bit later. So but yeah, man. So that's just some stuff. Again, go online in the chat. Y'all can talk about who are some guys you want to see and whatnot. But I think we can have a good little time from it. Um, get some good quality content and vibe.
Miami is home to the Heat, and this former UGA player is definitely heated right now. So Carson Beck and Hannah Cavender, his girlfriend,
They
had
gotta work. That is an awful
hey,
picture of Carson, man.
this man a good looking picture.
Carson looked just like one of them Ed and Eddie
He
cats
look
right there.
he look like Gumby.
Yeah, man. My dog does not look that wild, man.
I've seen him in person. He's the regular looking dude.
Yeah, but that looks like really like the only way you get a girl is through bread. But yeah, so shout out Carson. But go ahead, Jay.
Carson and his girlfriend Hannah Cavender had 3 vehicles stolen overnight in South Florida. So Cavender's SUV was recovered, but Beck's Mercedes and Lamborghini remains missing. And I quoted this, retweeted this on our social media account and said Kirby sent the goons after him. So man, what? Imagine getting your Lamborghini stolen, James. I don't even know, but he's swimming in the bread. And you got Steve said, "Boy, look like Timmy from South Park."
That's wild. Um, you got to go check my social media and see like the Miami media is terrible, man. Like Carson's gonna be ready to get out of that bitch after a while. Like, buddy, he was just sitting there watching this old lady get crossed up, and they're gonna go ask him about the cars and how does he feel about that. But a Georgia fan said, damn, he just got to Miami and still getting picked off. Even the cars got intercepted. But I talked with Denny Thompson. Denny manages Carson. He says they're not worried about it. Whoever has it can have it. That's why they have really good insurance. So, but yeah, but this is wild. Like this is why people be wanting to fight journalists. Like my man is like just really about getting the scoop.
Fox 7 News, how are you? Canes star commit incoming quarterback Carson Beck took in a basketball game on campus, but he wasn't chatty, especially not about the Lux cars he just had stolen. Sorry to bother you during the game. Can you tell me about the cars? How you feeling?
No, I'm not answering any questions. Sorry.
Thursday night, women's basketball is not the top Canes story at the moment. Top billing belongs to the swiping of the exotic rides belonging to a pair of high-profile hurricanes. It's all about the youth. Seen here in happier, goofier times are Beck.
He said goofier.
No,
I'm not. We're good.
Who is watching his girlfriend, Hannah Cavender, play against Notre Dame. Hours earlier, they dealt with this.
Two vehicles that were taken. The first one was a 2023 red Lamborghini. The second one is a 2023 gray Mercedes-Benz.
While staying at this $5 million home near South Miami Wednesday night, they woke up to find a Lamborghini, Mercedes, and Land Rover all missing. A neighbor shared surveillance footage that showed two vehicles being driven in the neighborhood around 3 a.m., one of them bright red. The Land Rover was later found after a call to cops. Anything from police?
I'm trying to watch the game.
And we were very surprised by what happened because it's not something that normally happens in our neighborhood.
Neighbors took in the show
That
of
man was
cops
proud to
recovering
wear
the
his helmet.
Benz Thursday afternoon. The Lamborghini was still missing. Miami-Dade
Irony.
car and
Can we
star
pause it real
athlete
quick?
drama.
Can you pause it? Can you scroll back a little bit? Just scroll back a little bit to the back. Go. Just push play.
Afternoon. The Lamborghini was still missing.
Pause. This is why I don't like the song. This is why I don't like the song. These people are playing They Not Like Us. He is Drake. He has become Drake. I just wanted to point that out. Everything that he hates about Drake, he actually is. Like, this is not you're the us that he's talking about. All right, finish pushing play because it's almost done.
Miami-Dade car and star athlete drama on game night. Good luck, Carson. Thank you, buddy.
Trying to watch the game. Sorry.
Like, he wants to be on TMZ so bad. This is why people hate journalists. This is why people get punched. This man was like, you walked up on him with the camera. It just like, my man's like, yo, not the lowest moment of his life, just annoying. It's more of annoyance. And then they put his house like out there, like this $5 million home. Like, damn, now people really coming after Carson. Now you got to worry. Now people know where you live, man. That's tough, bro. It's a hard knock life.
Goofier times.
That was a wild statement, though. Like, you can't even be one. I do hate that for him, that he felt the need that he had to do that goof troop ass shit.
For real.
But you know, the thing, we've all done silly shit for vagina. So like, he shouldn't be it shouldn't be blasted on the news though. Like, there has to be, like, you got spring spring training with baseball. So you have the Miami Marlins. You've got hockey's at the All-Star break. You've got the Miami Heat. You've got the Dolphins, and you have the Combine. There's got to be a million other stories they could have put more energy into than this bullshit. That's the only thing I don't like for Carson. But it is a story, and you know, he still got his money, and kudos to him. The arm looks fine. The wing don't look bad. And that dude that he was so proud on his bike and I want to be that rich to where you just don't give a fuck. Like, you're sure. I got to know that was $1,000 helmet.
Oh, what is that?
Like, I'm just saying, dog. Like, you couldn't take the fucking helmet off. Nobody else is wearing a helmet. Like, the women aren't wearing helmets. They're just sitting there, and they're like, he's going to speak for us. Wait a minute. Before I talk, let me don my cap. This is going to let him know that I'm serious. Like, it's just, this shit is funny. You know, while rich white people don't want anything ethnic coming in there, like, I just love observing rich white people. It's just so much fun to be in spaces that I don't belong, I'm not supposed to be in, and just watch how they move in their natural habitat. It's just hilarious. Like, this is proud. He is. How many people he DVR'd this, didn't he? All his friends are just like, yo, you gotta check me out on the 6 o'clock news. I'm gonna be there talking about Carson Beck's robbery. Wild shit. Wild times. Remind me to try to sound like the guy when we talk about your friend Nas, because that's what that's more built for. Your friend assaulting the elderly. That's the
So,
voice that needs.
sounds crazy word. More like defense, self-defense.
his his racist attack on the ethnic on a minority ethnic group is vicious as fuck. That's what that voice is. The vicious attack of what do you call it? What is it? The legal definition, like when you beat up somebody that's not supposed to be beat up, like another rate, like it's
Hate
um
crime?
yeah, this vicious attack and hate crime had on the Boston. Was it BTA? Is it Boston Transit Authority or what is it called up there?
Oh, MBTA.
MBTA, the Metro Belter ass that was doing that was giving to this ethnic minority. But I guess it's technically not that when it's minority versus minority. Anyways, um, who do
I got
we
it. One.
who do we believe did this crime? Was it Hispanics? Was it the blacks or was it some pilgrims?
Yo, we
It
going straight into the race, huh?
it was this guy with the helmet. He hired the goons because he was jealous of the $5 million house.
I like
What did
that
he?
theory.
I did too. What job do you think? I bet he's like a. I bet he just is a regular person. Like he's just like a dentist. Like he didn't do anything great to be able to have a $5 million home. He
Just his own
just
point.
just him. But anyway,
Yeah, we're gonna stay. We mentioned former UGA quarterback Carson Beck, so we're going to stay in the SEC with this next topic. Trying to move through this so you can see right here, y'all. So this is a historic stat from the University of Alabama. So NFL players who played college football at Alabama scored 886 points this season, the most in NFL history for players from one college. So I just want to share this stat with you, James, and everybody in the chat, so we can just see how dominant the Alabama alumni in the NFL was. So we're gonna keep moving forward with the show. Staying in the SEC now, they're new members of the SEC. This is a big topic in college football, guys. So if you guys did not know, Texas and USC have joined Nebraska in canceling their spring games. I know this topic has a lot of controversy surrounding it, James. So, what do you think about more teams canceling their spring games?
spring games are kindergarten graduation and church Easter speeches. The only reason they have them is so that the specially able kid, the artistic kid, can go and read a speech and everybody can act like they care, and that the dumb kids get to say something and pretend like they're on the same level before the actual separation of life starts to happen. Because some of y'all kids aren't special. They're specially able, but they're just not as special as what you guys think they are. Sorry to tell you that. I'm telling you this in love. Nobody else will tell you this in love. But you kids are stupid. But in the spring games, I played in one spring game, I believe. Um, I never I never really just had to the battles are done during camp. It's not like you're not learning anything from a spring game. It's purely for the fans. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like it does in the grand scheme of things, it doesn't you don't matter. Um, but Mike Norvell when he did this, and ours was more of a legitimate reason because we have the stadium. But I think people are piggybacking on this, thinking that this is going to stop something that's inevitable. The they're thinking it's going to stop tampering. Well, it's not. They know you have 15 practices, and they know that there's a spring portal period that opens up at a specific time. So if a kid's going to hit that portal, he's going to hit that portal regardless of if you have a spring game or not. It's not like they watch, oh my God, this kid had a great spring game. Let me go get him. No, that's not what happened. They already had their eyes on you. Somebody's already reaching out. Hell, I've had GMs from other schools reach out to me and say, hey, man, I'm looking for a linebacker. I'm looking for this. I'm looking for that. Do you have somebody that I can get? And that's just how this game works. So they can not have a spring game all they want. It's not going to change anything. Hell, you know, I have things that I want to say about Texas. There's, maybe he's not having a spring game, so his wife is chilling out. Um, Hold on, my bad. Sorry about that. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that it's the new trend. They'll come up with something different. They need to go to an NFL style what they do during training camp where you just find a team and you guys can have maybe some scrimmages, some light practices, some real good, just against another type of person, but it's nothing real. Like it's just getting work and that's what it always has been. It's you're playing a fictitious opponent. Hell, last year I showed people the reason why I didn't care about it was because the script there was like 8 plays that they could run on offense and 8 plays on defense. So and who was it? The running back from Baton from New Orleans, real good. Travis Minor. T Minor was the damn offensive coordinator, and he ain't been. How you have an offensive coordinator that ain't been in none of the practices? So like that's what I'm just saying. So a lot of this stuff we want to pretend to care about, but then when somebody else does it, everybody's like, oh, okay, and they're like, oh, well, it's about the fans, but now everybody will accept it because somebody else did it, as opposed to just trust the process with Mike. I mean, shit. Either he's going to get it done or he's not going to get it done. But you guys bitching about it ain't going to change nothing. Hell, 90% of the people don't even fucking come to it.
Yep, we're gonna stay in the college realm with this one. So James, I had this post attached here by College Football Alerts, and we're gonna see if you would agree with this list, replace any stadiums on here, but these are the top 10 college football atmospheres per CBS.com. So you got LSU, Penn State, Ohio State, Michigan, Tennessee, Oregon, Notre Dame, Texas A&M, Clemson, and the Rose Bowl. Are there any of these stadiums you would take out and replace with stadiums that weren't mentioned here? Would you move things around? How would you determine and rank this list?
I'm going to take Notre Dame. Notre Dame, I'm taking that out of there. I don't know enough about Penn State to keep it in there, but I wouldn't put it in. I wouldn't put Happy Valley in there, but I've heard you either get Happy Valley or Texas A&M. You don't get both. Um, Clemson was crazy. I think Florida's tougher to play in. Universally, everywhere I've ever gone, everybody tells me that Doak is tough to play in, especially when we're rocking. So to not have Doak in there is some pure hateration. I don't know what it's like to be out in Oregon. I'm going to take that out of there. And I think the Rose Bowl the Rose Bowl and Notre Dame are all nostalgia pits. So I'll give it to them, whatever.
Staying on the topic of stadiums, these are the most expensive college football stadiums per construction cost. This is total construction cost. So Texas A&M Kyle Field has taken the number one spot with a construction cost of $650.4 million. Then you got Notre Dame coming in second with $527.4 million. And you got Cal Stadium, Memorial Stadium coming in at $466.2 million. But a sneaky expensive college football stadium, in my opinion, coming in at number 10, Colorado State making the list. Any other surprises on this list, James?
Colorado State. I would just don't even think about them when it comes to football. So kudos to them for putting the money up.
For sure. So, some big news happening this weekend in the college football playoff world, especially when it comes for next year's playoff seeding arrangements, just overall processes. So, per Pete Thamel, there's a call set for this weekend for the A4 commissioners in advance of the college football meetings in Dallas. There's expected to be an update of what transpired in the SEC Big Ten meetings in New Orleans and potential steps ahead for the college football playoff. Now, this is after the news of SEC and Big Ten commissioners Greg Sankey and Tony Petitti are in favor of a, quote, straight seeding that mirrors the college football playoff committee rankings while still guaranteeing spots for 5 champs. So, James, what do you think the SEC and Big Ten commissioners have in mind, or what they will try to execute for the college football playoffs in the future?
They're trying to make it to where they get the 4 home, that the four home playoff spots are at least split between them. The buys, and they're trying to, they control them. This is why people want to get out of the ACC and out of there. It's a move to be able to not create more parity, even though we have more parity this year than we probably have. You saw what happened when the SEC faced a team that was like on a neutral site or in a different or an adverse environment. They lost, and I think they're just trying to flex. They're trying to big boy people in poker. They're using chip stack to try to intimidate. So they're forcing you to see how strongly do you believe in your hand. And I think that everybody should hold still and go strong for it. I mean, I loved it this year. As much as people complain, I thought it was great. I thought Arizona State should have won. Arizona State had the game won. They couldn't finish. I think obviously Notre Dame showed what they were able to do. Boise State was outmanned, but they didn't just get the shit beat out of them. Clemson and SMU weren't the greatest, but SMU probably should have been able to have SMU should have had a bye. If I'm being 100, and it would have been a better game if they would have been able to have that. But I don't like them trying to hoard all of the picks and control everything. That's just not something I'm cool with.
That recaps our college football segment. And speaking of control, we're staying updated with the Jaguars general manager tracker, a very powerful figure in any football organization, right? Being that they're right under the owner, second in command, if you will. So this is the Jaguars general manager tracker. And we're just going to give you guys some updates about the interviews that occurred. So during the last show, we recapped Josh Williams and Ian Cunningham's second interview being completed. Yeah, they got the stockbroker, real estate agent, and now you got a I don't even know, but John Eric Sullivan. So his current position, he is with the Green Bay Packers at Vice President of Player Personnel. His second interview was completed yesterday, and so this is his resume right here. Straight Packers from 04 to 2024/2025. So 21 years in the same organization. So James, is this a red flag for potential GM candidate right here, or is it something that you wouldn't mind?
No, it just shows stability, and he got an opportunity to learn. Again, the biggest thing that you're looking for is what all positions has he held within the organization. You see football ops, you see regional scout, you see in different areas. Again, you have to be a GM needs to have two things. Either you want to strengthen one by having a working idea and knowledge of how to do two things. You have your college scout, so he worked as a regional scout and the director of college scouting, so he knows how to make a draft board, how to do all these different things. But the big piece in how most NFL teams are made is player personnel, which is well, the guy who looks at the NFL finds who currently fits their needs, and we can put them on the roster. So he's also played the game. I like guys who have played the game. They've been invested. They've been around football their whole life. Um, 20 years of experience before making this jump just shows he's not fast track. Maybe he's hungry. But I do understand what the question would be was why now? What would make you choose to do this at this point? But very good very, very, very good resume. You can't you'd be a hater if you didn't enjoy that resume.
And then we currently have the Jaguars interim GM Ethan Waugh. I don't think we ever really touched up on him, James, on your opinion of him. But his second interview was completed yesterday as well. Played defensive back at Lake Forest College and wide receiver slash quarterback at Lawrence University. And these are his resume information right here. So, James, what do you think of the Jaguars interim general Ethan Waugh, and do you think he really has a shot of becoming the next official general manager?
If that happens, that means we were told no. You can take his resume, go to the top of the Damus Point Bridge, light it on fire, and drop it. I don't want anything that was associated with with the stench of the last regime. So go get washed and cleansed somewhere else, and then maybe come back.
For sure. I definitely agree. Same sentiments as you all and as you, James. And so just a little bit more information about this. The last interview they completed was with the interim general manager, Ethan Waugh, and it marked the fourth of a planned five quote second interviews for the position, with the Jaguars previously interviewing the players we discussed. So the last interview they have planned to make it the fifth second interview is Los Angeles Rams director of scouting strategy, James Gladstone. I've seen a lot of Jags fans on Twitter express their love and appreciation for Gladstone, hoping he could be the next GM. So James, out of these five candidates we discussed, who would your pick for the GM be?
I like the way they've been. I like Gladstone, but I would go Ian. I go the top two, number one and two for me. And yeah, I mean probably Gladstone and then Waugh after that.
Nice, nice, nice. So we're gonna stay in the Jaguars world a little bit, just a little fun little jersey picture right here. So out of these throwbacks, you got a couple teams right here. You got 10 teams. So if you had to pick one, or you can do a top three of these throwbacks right here, which teams are you picking?
Gotta go creamsicle. Creamsicle, then with the Buccaneers, Eagles, Falcons, Oilers. That'd be the ones those would be the ones that I really like.
No, that's a solid list for sure, for sure. So we got the combine coming up, James, Indianapolis. Tune in to Den Media Group for all of the content that we are going to post. You know, at the combine, they bench press, they vertical jump, and then one of the most famous exercise that they have to do is a 40-yard dash time. So these are some pictures of some famous players in their 40 during their 40-yard dash, and I already got my answer. But James, who has the worst 40-yard dash face right here? We got FSU legend Jalen Ramsey up top. Got some other players as well. So who's making the ugliest face during the 40?
Is that Russell?
See,
Yep.
Yeah. That's what Sierra got to look at. Like he looks orange right there. Pat looks like he's constipated. Derek looks like how Arnold Schwarzenegger ran from the Predator.
who's
Outside
top
of
right?
that, who's top right?
Sauce Gardner.
It looks like he's blowing on some hot sauce. Like some. Who's the bottom right? Who's the bottom right pilgrim?
That's Josh Allen.
That's what that is.
Yeah. So
Josh
it's
looks cool.
I'll read all the names from starting from the top left corner. So you got Derrick Henry, Jalen Ramsey, Sauce Gardner. Then you have Saquon Barkley, Patrick Mahomes, Xavier Worthy, Jonathan Taylor, Russell Wilson, and the 2024 MVP, 2024-2025 MVP Josh Allen.
Stark's wife's boyfriend looks really relaxed.
James, you can't be doing that, bro. You cannot be doing that, bro. That's out of pocket. That's out of pocket.
Oh, nah, you're supposed to be relaxed when you're running it. You're not supposed to look. You're not supposed to strain. You're supposed to just let it happen. I can't. Who is the Skeetaboo, bitch or Beck? I think he's going. The TCU wide receiver is going to be the one that's going to do the thing. So, just be ready to cut that up because I did ask him what is his 40 time going to be, and he said you just got to watch. So he better go out there. I can't wait for him to go out there and run like a 4.3 or some shit. And then we can keep our run of exciting whites. I think that would be like 2 years in a row, Miles. We've had the real do numbers with the white boy running, right?
Yeah. We had the guy from Iowa. Then who else was the other one?
Both of them were for Iowa.
Oh, yeah, they were. Jeez. What they doing over there?
And now Iowa has the track kid, but we think he's albino.
Yeah. He's mixed with some.
Yeah. But
I don't know what they put in that Iowa water, but staying in the middle of the country, man, we got to talk about the Cowboys, America's favorite team, and a recent retirement announcement. So, 9-time Pro Bowl guard Zach Martin has informed the Cowboys he plans to retire after 11 seasons. So I'm going to read you off some of Zach Martin's stats. Played for 11 years, had 171 starts, including the playoffs. So he had 169 at right guard and 2 at right tackle. 9-time All-Pro, 7-time first team, 9-time Pro Bowler, and he was a first-round pick, 16th pick in the 2014 draft. And this is the craziest stat of them all. So he had 9 career Pro Bowl selections, and he only had 7 career holding penalties.
Now that were accepted.
Yes.
So he's had more, but it's just some of them they didn't accept the penalty. But yeah, man, but still dominance. I mean, that's a really great career. Really great career.
Do you think he's one of the best guards of this generation, James?
Without a doubt. Definitely is.
So we're going to get into some of the total offensive and defensive yards allowed in the NFL from this past year. So first things first, we're going to start with the offensive side of the ball. Now, guys, if you did not know, yes, the Ravens led this category right here. So the Ravens had the most total yards of offense with 7,224. Detroit coming in a smooth second place, 6,962. And then you got Tampa Bay coming in with 6,792 yards. You also got San Fran coming in at 4th, and then Green Bay coming in at the 5th spot. And now we're going to get into the defensive fewest yards allowed. And you know what they say, defense wins championships. And you can see the NFL championship winner right there at the top, allowing the fewest yards in the 2024 season. The Philadelphia Eagles only allowed 4,732 yards. And surprising team right here, Tennessee coming in at number 2. You know, they didn't have much overall success with their record, but, you know, their defenses is one of the best right here. So, James, do you share the mindset of defense wins championships? Because it clearly is showing out for the Eagles.
Good defense, good running game is going to win you a lot of football games. And I think when everybody accepts that's just the way you play football, and throwing the ball is important, and it's good to have a good passing game, but it's nowhere near as important as what people make it, the game will be a lot better.
Facts, for sure, for sure. So we're gonna have this gonna wrap up our this last segment right here is gonna wrap up our NFL segment before we get into the big games BS segment. So this is a potential top 10 quarterbacks list of all time. I know this is a controversial topic to discuss, but these are the names on that list. And James, we gotta ask, what is Big Game James doing to this list right here?
I get the top two. I'm cool with the top two. This is how I know the Jordan argument is bullshit because everybody would say Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time, and they won't say anything about all the championships he's lost. You know, when Joe Montana went to four and he won four, so I believe it was four. Yeah, he had four and won four. So technically, Joe Montana should be the greatest quarterback, but I understand Tom Brady actually is the greatest quarterback. And number three is not Peyton Manning. I mean, I get it. Peyton Manning had a storied career, but you have to put Patrick Mahomes up there. Patrick Mahomes is holding off potential Hall of Famers and the best quarterbacks, and he's winning outside of this past year. You could put Peyton after Pat, and then I like Dan Marino. Drew Brees is definitely up there. Brett Favre. I don't know if you can. And Aaron Rodgers, yeah, Aaron Rodgers has to be. Aaron Rodgers is good, but the biggest thing is my top four will be Brady, Montana, Mahomes, Peyton, and then after that you can just put whoever you want to put.
For sure. I definitely had to share this list with you all. Let us know what you think in the chat, in the comments, y'all, because we love to hear y'all opinions. And yeah, appreciate y'all for tuning in as well. So we're going to move into our big games BS segment. And today we got to recap what occurred last night. Now, I don't know if you ever talked about hockey on the pod, James. You're doing different things this year, doing the NASCAR duels, talking about hockey. 2025 going to be a great year. So last night, our nation lost to Canada 3-2 in a close game in overtime. But our fans, our USA fans at Twitter had to come back on Canada. And we had to come with the joke. So they posted this funny picture related to football. We got 59 Super Bowls and they got none. So, the American fans got to stay witty. But this was a great game. Went to overtime. Super great game, but sucks that we lost this one right here. Did you see any clips of this, James, at all? Did you tune into
Nah,
the
I'm
game?
not.
Anything?
Nah, I didn't know it was on, so I can't get mad about something that I didn't even know to watch. But I do know, they have a rabid fan base with hockey, and people pay attention to it. And I saw PK Subban talking about the difference between the NHL Hockey All Star Game and the NBA All Star Game, and just how people care. So it's a passion sport, and I hope whoever watched it got their enjoyment out of it.
Yeah, hockey is definitely in my opinion, one of the more entertaining sports to watch on TV and in person. Because I got a chance to watch the ice.
Definitely in person.
Yeah, I got a chance to watch the Iceman game, even though that's not NHL, but that was still great. Like Jacksonville Iceman, that was a great experience. And but got to give the props to Canada on this one. Bobby Portis. Bobby Portis had a 25-game suspension from the league. He's a player on the Milwaukee Bucks. And man, this is just not adding up. This is such a tragic story. I'm not going to read all of this, but I'm going to get into the gist of this. So, quote, Bobby unintentionally took a pain medication called Tramadol, thinking he was taking a pain medication called Toradol. Toradol is an approved pain medication that he has used previously and that teams and players use for pain and inflammation. Tramadol, however, is not an approved pain medication and was just recently added to the banned substance list this past spring. So where did he get this pill from? It came from an assistant of his with a valid prescription for the painkiller, which he mistakenly told Bobby was Toradol. This was, again, an honest mistake that was made because of the similarity in the names of the drugs and the fact that they both serve a very similar purpose. Now, the reason he was using this was because he was dealing with the elbow injury he had this past fall. So, James.
It's not a performance enhancement drug. The difference is that tramadol can become So can Toradol, but they can both become addicting. Tramadol puts you to sleep though. I have some of that, and I have Toradol. One of them puts you. One of them's an upper. One of them not upper. One of them, both of them are downers, but one will literally knock you the fuck out. And I think context has to be stated when with all of this stuff, but rules are rules. But 25 games is a hard thing to slap, especially when you can smoke weed, do coke, and do all the other really wild drugs. Like that's not a party drug. Like I get the party drugs, but this one right here is just a little bit over the top and a bit much.
Yep. So the this occurred before the Bucks. I think the Bucks had a game last night, so he has 24 games left in his season. So I think that means he'll come back around the 78 game count out of the 82 game season. So missing a lot of the back half of the season. Very important for the playoff seedings and everything like that. So man, it's just that assistant. I know he, if this was true, man, that assistant definitely got fired ASAP. But staying in the basketball world, man, LeBron James has been doing the craziest of the craziest. So LeBron James, with this 40-point game right here, marked LeBron as the first player in NBA history to achieve multiple 40-point games at this age. And they got the W over the Portland Trail Blazers, 110 to 102. The only two players that played more NBA games than LeBron are Kareem Abdul-Jabbar in second place and Celtics legend Robert Parrish coming in at the number one spot. But you can see right here, 40 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 2 steals, but he did have 11 turnovers as well. But we ain't gonna talk about that. He's 40. He got a little leeway with it. But is the GOAT argument still standing, James? Like, what are we looking at?
I think you got to go goat by eras. Like the game is different, and he's dominating the game. If he played in the '90s, he would dominate the '90s. LeBron is. I think it's too much time spent trying to detract what LeBron is and not appreciating what he is, or try to tell people what he ain't and just not appreciating the fact that this man is 40 years old. Like my body hurts for him. Like he's the most people's hatred of him come from his political stances. Like he's literally what you want, like little black boy, anybody to grow up to be. He's never been in trouble, no real trouble. Seems like a great dad. Like basically, not seems like it. Literally, his plans is to make sure his son has a job. Like LeBron is goals.
Can't talk, basketball is a team sport. Can't talk about this W without talking about AR-15, cold killer right here, aka an exciting white, if you will. 32 points, 7 rebounds, 2 steals, 2 blocks for the Lakers star, the best third option in the NBA. And man, just a great game overall, and huge shout out to LeBron and the Lakers for getting this dub. But James, you recently shared this video, or I should say, quoted this video. So we got to talk about these rappers, and then that they not spending how they really say they are. So rapper Lil TJ was the worst client this barber has ever had because he didn't tip on a $95 haircut and even asked for the $5 back after his team handed the barber a $100 bill. So I'm gonna press play, and then please let us know in the chat what y'all think. Even if y'all, I don't know if y'all are familiar with Lil TJ. He's not too much of a popular rapper nowadays, especially maybe a couple years ago, but just let us know what you think in the chat, y'all.
$5 gave me 100.
So you cut Lil TJ's hair, right?
Yeah, he was by far the biggest dickhead that I've ever dealt with. I charged him, I think it was $95. Gave me 100. I packed my stuff up, left. When I'm in the hotel lobby, I get a phone call from his manager asking for the $5 change. So I had to run back up and hand Lil TJ a $5 bill from the cut. So I asked no tip, and he said no, and took his $5 back and went about his day. By far the worst experience I've ever had cutting any of these famous people. Just rude, unprofessional, had me waiting. I'm cutting his hair, I need to stop and roll up, and he's telling me I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to fade his sideburns in, he's moving out the way, telling me not to do it like that. Just not really trusting me, when at the end of the day, you called me to do a job, But that was by far the worst experience.
He sounds very fucking entitled. First and foremost, I'm fuck that. I'm not paying you $95 a cut to take away hair. Anytime you add to me, you better add extensions. LeBron deserves to pay $95 for the haircuts that he gets because somehow they magically fill in his gaps in his head. But like just listening to him talk, like I love confidence. I love people who if that's what you charge, you charge. And I'm gonna be honest with you, as a guy, I don't tip. I don't tip. Whatever you charge though, I'm gonna pay you. You know why I don't tip? I used to tip when haircuts were reasonable. When it was $10, $15 for a cut. I didn't mind sliding $20. But when you went from $15 to $30, I didn't cry. I stayed loyal. It's cats paying $50 for a haircut now. I remember paying $5 for a kid cut. I paid $30 for my boys' haircuts. You're getting paid $30. It takes you 30 minutes to 45 minutes to cut somebody's hair and tape at max. If you cut two heads, you get paid $60 an hour. You are not there. That is a whop. Ain't nobody listening to the show right. Very few of y'all listen to the show right now make $60 an hour. And I'm not saying that, charge what you charge. The market dictates the terms. Charge what you can get. But like to just the whole idea of you saying in this market, how can he asked for my $5 back and I said no tip. And he said no. If I called you to give me the $5 back, then that means no tip. But I'm gonna be honest. I'm just gonna tell you straight up. If I'm paying you $95, you goddamn right you're gonna do it the way I want you to do. I don't give a fuck what you are. If I tell you to put zigzags in my hair, you gonna put zigzags in my hair. $95 is a lot of money, brother. Like, and I'm looking at him cut like it ain't no. That's a regular ass cut. He ain't got no like fancy little barber tape. He ain't got no like fancy gold clippers. I can go to the DR right now for $40 and have a bitch twerk on me while I'm getting my hair cut. Like, it's just, bruh, like you.
Was it a house call or was he in the shop? I can't.
He said he was at a hotel. So he came to the hotel. But like, again, I don't know what his rates are. I don't know what his prices are. But like, 90% of the time people cut, if he's supposed to be a celebrity, most of the people cut heads for free. Because you're gonna get you're gonna get the publicity. So like, but either way, man, like I don't like when people do this kind of stuff. Because it doesn't show great gratitude. Because what you're in is you're in a service industry. Like, I don't want to I don't want you to touch my head just by the way you talking about this other guy. That makes me feel bad. Like, what are you gonna say about me?
That's true.
But like, I know he was asked a question, but I'm like, it's just like I thought he was gonna say like, he was high, he kept falling asleep in the chair, or he was moving around. But you're mad because he didn't give you a $5 tip when. Because here's really where I feel bad, where I don't like his bit. I'm not responsible for your lack of business acumen. So you went to a hotel. You said it's $95, right? You could have said it was $105 that he would have paid you. And you wouldn't have had to worry about it. So you could have just said $100 and your tips included. So again, that's your fault. You presented a price and then you wanted to change the deal. You expected more. That's entitlement. You got way too comfortable with another man's breath. You did your job. You were paid. You paid your job. But like, I don't know what else goes into it. Like that boy head did look like it needed some surgery, but at the end of the day, charge more. I feel no sympathy for this guy.
And that concludes our show for today.
Oh no, don't. We got to talk about it.
Oh no. You're right. We
We got to show this accosting, beating up elderly, this hate crime.
Let me pull it up right quick.
What is it? What is your boy, Miles? I know which Spanish is he?
He's black and Puerto Rican.
Okay, so he's a Mexican from up north. That's what my grandma used to say. Puerto Ricans ain't nothing but Mexicans from New York. But oh man, but it's funny because, and I want to show it because like my son. Did I talk about? I didn't talk about. Did I talk about Trey getting his ass whooped on Monday's show by the girls team?
No.
No.
So Trey had a long weekend. So we played two flag football games and we 7-on-7 games. We won our championship. Then we went to flag football and they got their asses whooped in flag football. The first ass whooping was by an all girls team. And Trey, when I tell you Trey, the girl she ran a jerk route, ran into Trey, pushed him, and Trey fell on his ass and his legs up in the air, puts his hands up like what? I said, stop treating her like a girl. And he's like, Dad, I didn't. And he had an opportunity to jam the shit out of her and run her out of bounds, but he didn't want to do that because it's a girl. And I said, son, that girl decided that she wanted to play football. Treat her with the equality and the respect that you would treat your opponent. I said, I'm gonna give you this game, and this is the problem with a lot of women. A lot of women are confusing men, and I'm not gonna be confused. I watch ID. I've seen how the rage murder shows and things like that. A lot of men get killed by women or abused by women because they try to use that misogyny. Women like to go back and forth with misogyny works for them. I'm not gonna hit a woman, but I'm not gonna get my ass whipped by one either. So take with that what you will. And I told Trey when she steps in the lines, you gotta you yoke their asses up. Especially with girls, they're already a little bit more physical mature. Them girls is like 13, whatever. They whoop their ass. But Miles' homeboy, just to put this out there, Miles' homeboy is chilling on the train. Or is it train or the bus?
The train. He's coming home from work.
What does he do for a living?
He's a cook.
This man, so this man is stressed the fuck out.
Yeah.
He's been dealing with bullshit all day. Customers don't know what they want to eat. They come and change your shit. You get yelled at by the master chef. All this other bullshit. You on your feet all day. It's hot, tight environment. You just like, man, all right, man. And you ain't got no whip. You riding the train to get home, to get you something to drink. And then all of a sudden, this bitch gets right up in your bubble. Like she's not, there's like, she's not using COVID restrictions. She's right up in your bubble. And then she decides that she wants to impose her will and bully you. What as a man are you to do? I will let you guys watch this interaction, and then please in the comments, whether it be on social media, whether it be here, help us mentor a friend of the show so that we can know what to do, because I think he was actually the only thing I think he did wrong was he did not give her a good enough lesson. Like in the 60s, in the 60s, she would have got a fresh one. Like, and she should know that she should know better because she's seen what her granddaddy did and her and her dad did. She's seen old heads go upside women's heads. And this man was just anyway. Y'all watch this and tell me what you think.
Fresh one.
Fucking see right here. Yeah, whatever. Don't fucking touch it, my fucking. Don't touch it. Yeah.
Whoa.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Pause. Wait a minute. Go back. Somebody, and this is how I know women hate women and they hate being told. This angel of God tried to warn her of her impending doom. Did y'all hear? Because I didn't even hear. I didn't even watch. I just saw the smack. But go and push that. She says, "Don't touch him."
Yeah, whatever. Don't fucking touch it, my fucking. Don't touch it. Yeah. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Stop touching her. Sir, get up. Come get your girl. Oh my god.
That was very mild. That was actually the way that was the way the granddads did it back in the day. One smack right to the ear, pow, put her right on the butt. She could have landed on her head. It could have ended badly. He would hit her in a way that she landed on her butt, so it softened the blow. But this lady, like this is how I know he was in the right. Can anybody? Anytime these things happen, you know you're in the right when nobody comes to pick you up and help you. Not one soul stopped what they were doing, and nobody came over to him and said, "Hey,
Yeah.
this isn't the way you should do it." But he says it went on for 3 minutes. This man deserves a key to the city. He fought crime. What would Batman do in this situation?
I love the white guy who comes in and does. He looks so. Look, hold on, he's gonna come in as soon as she drops. He comes in. He has no clue what's going on,
He
but he
looks
knows
and
to
just
mind his
said,
business.
ain't got shit to do with me." She almost fell into the door. Oh
Go
man,
get
she
your
needed
girl.
her bearings. Did she come back for more though?
I don't know. It looked like. Oh yeah, it looked like she.
It looked like she just didn't get the.
She
That's
wasn't
the
around
only
too.
problem I have. You got to teach fast lessons to slow learners. Like you got to give her more. I'm not condoning hitting women, but I don't condone women hitting men. I don't condone being intoxicated on the train. I don't condone a
Right.
lot of this stuff. But the bottom line is, what needs to happen is for every action has an equal and opposite reaction. We're taking science out of America. That's one of Newton's laws, and she got a reaction. And to be honest with yourself, if she came back for more, should have smacked her ass again until she learned the lesson. See what happens in life: we get tests, and if you fail the test, you got to keep taking the test until you pass. She would have passed the test by minding her own fucking business and leaving that man alone.
What's that sound there? And then my head hit the ground.
Yeah.
I need to
And
put
then I
that
hit the
on it.
wall. Back.
Yeah.
And all my bodily fluids started leaving my body.
She gets that rigor mortis, boy. She stiffens up. Boop.
Oh man, that's how people be looking when they get baptized. No, it took her a while to get up, and then she slammed the thing down. Oh, now she's really mad. What should have happened is the only like again. What situation do you have to do here as a man? There's the smack, or then there's the yoke. If you yoked her ass up and shook the shit out of her, like you would have really been bad because you would have really been bad, but it would have been warranted.
Yeah, the optics of the yoke and shake might have been worse than the quick
Yeah,
jab.
but this wasn't like malicious. There wasn't a kick that came with it. It was to the point. Pop! I told you to stop touching me. I told you you shouldn't have touched him. Like everybody
And who are
agreed
her
with him.
friends? Who are her friends? Because he said, "Come get your girl."
Come
Nobody
get
was
your
trying to
girl.
move.
And they were trying to, you know what? And this is the problem with the world and why I say women hate women. Her friends know she's always out of pocket. They needed her. They needed someone else to teach her this lesson.
So they were just like, "Okay,
So
we're
they
gonna let it
used
happen
him
this time."
to teach her what they knew they should have got her. It's like the lady who got in the fight on Bourbon Street when I was at the cigar lounge, and the white lady just packed her, and then she got kicked out of the bar. Like you just sometimes you got to take that pat. I hope nothing happens to my guy. Matter of fact, he
Yeah,
deserves a raise for what happened. For
right.
what happened, man. Nobody has time for this shit. Life is hard enough, man. Then y'all got to go around and you can't control your emotions, your hands, your liquor, and you go around and go touching shit. Stop, quit touching shit.
After 8 hours on my feet, yeah, not me.
Like
On the
go
train,
back.
no.
Was he sitting? He was sitting down, man. Ooh, I am on his side. He is comfortable. 8 hours. I'm sitting down and minding my own business, and if somebody comes and touches me in my bubble, once I raise up, it then doesn't back up. Once I raise up and I'm towering over her, she needed to learn this. There's no good people in her life that showed her the right way.
We won't say his name, but my boy's like 6'2". There's no reason for this, and it's probably cold
She
outside. Y'all don't want this
just
in
yeah,
Boston.
the sun on it's been dark since 3 o'clock in the afternoon because that's what happens in Boston. Like it might be snowing. You might not have seen the sun in 5 days. The last thing you need is this shit.
You know what she really mad at? I think she's mad that he didn't offer her his seat.
Is that what she did? Is this what this is about?
I'm just guessing, but I'm thinking that's where her internal anger. Because some people expect, because you're a woman, maybe. So she put his bag near him, which kept bumping into him, and he asked if he could kind of move it, and then she went off. So I'm thinking that was the mindset of this
Well, he
woman
gave her a seat.
expecting.
He gave her a seat. She sat her ass right down. Like I did not like. What about me? What if I have bad knees? What if I have flat feet, plantar fasciitis? My sciatic is bothering me. What if I have something going on with me? Like you want equality, you got some equality. This is what y'all fought for. You should have thought about it. You should have told your ancestors to think about this, what they were fighting for. This is what never mind. I don't think Rosa could have done this. But this is, I mean, at a certain point, man, you just and if I want, what if he would have been like, you know what, man, all right, I got my energy back. All right, I've rolled a couple stops. Man, would you like a seat? Now you fucking killed any of that chance. Now I'm gonna now you're gonna get your ass gone.
Yeah, that's
What
right.
you call it? Is
Gotta walk the talk
MBTA?
after.
Is
MBTA.
MBTA the Metro Belt to Ass society is what we need to start doing. This is why you gotta start handing out the this is why you gotta start holding people accountable. Hold your friends accountable, or I will. Somebody say, "Oh, discipline your child before I discipline you." It's what I heard
Right.
somebody say one time, and that was great.
That's
Discipline
a great
yourself
goal.
before I discipline you, and that's what happened, man. Sometimes you gotta. If she's got a husband or a man at home, I blame him. This is why, again, I might put it on the shirt in 2025 to sell them. This is why we need pimps. This is why pimps are necessary.
I don't know.
Control
I
you,
can't do that.
control your bitch. Like it's your fault that she's around here talking sour. What is the 40-year-old version? You bitch out of control. Just saying, she's over here all in my face. That's the fact that Steve Carey, say that he said it so straight face is like one of the best is comedy gold.
Build that
But
role.
it was it's just like you said that she's a whore, a hoe for sure. She's a whore for sure. Like it's a great
Gotta
movie.
watch
But
that again. I might watch that today.
man. I hope my guy goes well. I hope he goes viral and good things happen. Make sure you have your SoundCloud in there when it goes viral, or GoFundMe just in case. But like, man, just sometimes you don't need this shit. We don't need this shit. Like, and y'all be pressing the button too hard, man. But one button you'll never be able to press too hard is the like button on this show. Also, the subscription button. If you're over here
Nice.
on Twitter, if you're on all the other stuff, please come over to Den Media Group. Check us out. We'll be putting up content. Proceeds go toward the what is it called? Mentors for the Kid Foundation, where we do which is what sponsors Domo National as we go here and we do these national tournaments and continue to grind and blow up on the 7-on-7 scene as well as the book bag drive that I do. The goal is to make this year's book bag drive the biggest one. We got again tons of episodes and content that we're going to be putting out for the combine coming up here shortly. Make sure y'all go follow everybody. Also follow a friend of the show. We're definitely going to get her on while we're at the combine, at least the yams, because I've never seen more people more thirsty, and I'm disappointed in like Dove Kleiman and some of these other people because they're getting paid. And again, this is why pimps are necessary. They're getting paid off of Sheena's ass, and Sheena's not getting paid off her ass because they just put up a tweet of her in a fine ass picture, and now they're getting 10 million views and not kicking back none of that shit to Sheena.
I've been trying for so long. Every reel I do of Sheena, I thirst trap.
Oh yeah, Miles picks the best pictures of Sheena. I don't even know where you get some of these from. I just want people to know that there are not my pictures. I'm seeing these when y'all see them as well. I'm not that kind of guy. But we're getting back to that time of year where guys are gonna be lying about her sniffing them and shit. And just it's just wild. It's wild it's wild, but at the same time, it's not. They be using that stuff. They know what they're doing, and if she tells the story of what happened, I know her. All I know is her ex boyfriend is probably kicking himself right now because everybody's like, "Yo, this your girl," and it's not. He's probably on bended knee doing that crying shit like a good '90s R&B cry right now. Like down on bended knee. Oof, that song is so sad. Just thought about it. Oh God! Ooh, when you say like God, like you say it like that, like you crying and something caught in your throat when you say it. God, give me a reason. I know he's singing that right now. But anyways, on that note, man, appreciate you guys for chopping it up with me. We will see you guys next time.